But somewhere along the way, they learn to distrust themselves. So instead of listening to their intuition, they overthink, second guess, seek external validation, and talk themselves out of what they already feel deep down. Welcome back to Beyond the Script. I'm Ali Christos, and today I want to talk about something I think many people are disconnected from: their intuition. Because I honestly think most people experience intuitive signals constantly through the body, emotions, inner knowing, tension, resonance, discomfort, subtle awareness. But many people have become so conditioned to prioritize logic, external opinions, fears, and overthinking that they no longer trust what they feel internally. One thing I've realized is that intuition rarely screams. It's usually subtle: a feeling, a hesitation, a sense of expansion, a quiet knowing, a contraction in the body, a feeling that something is off, a feeling that something deeply resonates. But because modern life is so noisy, many people override those signals constantly. I think one of the biggest challenges people face is distinguishing intuition from fear. Fear tends to feel urgent, chaotic, mentally repetitive, and survival based. Intuition usually feels calmer, quieter, clearer, and more grounded in the body. But when someone's nervous system is chronically dysregulated, fear can become so loud that intuition becomes difficult to hear. I think overthinking often pulls people out of direct connection with themselves. Instead of listening inwardly, people start mentally analyzing everything. What's the safest choice? What will other people think? What if I make the wrong decision? What if I fail? And eventually, the mind becomes louder than the body. I honestly think many people were conditioned from childhood to distrust their own inner experience. They were taught to prioritize external authority, to suppress emotions, to ignore discomfort, to override boundaries, or to seek approval before trusting themselves. So later in life, many people struggle to recognize their own intuition because they've spent years disconnecting from it. One thing I've learned through subconscious work is that the body is constantly communicating. Tension, fatigue, anxiety, expansion, heaviness, calmness. The body often knows something emotionally before the conscious mind fully understands it. But many people are so mentally overstimulated that they stop listening to the body entirely. I've ignored my intuition before too. There were moments where deep down I already knew something wasn't aligned, a relationship wasn't right, an environment felt draining, or a path no longer resonated. But because of fear, logic, uncertainty, or wanting external reassurance, I overrode myself. And honestly, I think many people eventually realize the cost of constantly ignoring your intuition is disconnection from yourself. I think healing intuition is really about rebuilding self trust, learning how to slow down, become present, regulate the nervous system, listen to the body, observe emotional patterns, and create enough inner stillness to hear yourself again. Because intuition becomes clearer when survival noise quiets down. I honestly think intuition is deeply connected to authenticity because intuition often guides people towards what feels true, not simply what feels familiar. And sometimes The reason people ignore intuition is because following it would require change. It would require honesty, boundaries, growth, uncertainty, or leaving behind old identities. Maybe your intuition has been speaking to you all along. Maybe the real challenge is becoming quiet enough to hear it again. If this episode resonated with you, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, left a review, or shared this with someone who may need it. And if you want to follow the journey, you can find me on Instagram at Beyond the Script Show. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode of Beyond the Script.